I have had an epiphany because this channel and making videos every single day is something that is on my mind. It occupies my mind pretty much all of the time, including in my sleep, in my dreams. I wake up and I think about it because it's such an out of the ordinary thing for me to do. I never used social media or posted to it in the past, and talking to an audience, which I say audience because originally when I was uploading these, I was just uploading it into existence, but no one was actually watching it, which is what I'd expected to happen for a long time, and to be honest, made me too comfortable. Now I almost feel pressure. Last time I checked, and by the way, I'm extremely grateful, this is about no way a complaint, there was 38 subscribers. Now I feel like to most people that are used to posting online, they see the number 38 as being low or unimportant. I see it as an immense amount of pressure. I see it as 38 people seeing my face and hearing me speak. I've always convinced myself, I feel like a lot of people might convince themselves of a lot of things until they actually come to do them. But I've actually convinced myself that I would be totally 100% cool, calm, collected and relaxed talking at a podium, like public speaking. And I'm having second thoughts whether that's true or not. I would do it. I don't let anything hold me back, don't get me wrong. But just the fact that even 38 people watching my content, people I can't even see, I don't even know what you look like, the amount of pressure that I feel off that alone. I don't want it to sound negative, pressure, like bad. It's good. I actively encourage pressure and stress tolerance and etc. So I'm not complaining about it by any means. I'm extremely, truly grateful. I just can't believe that many people have engaged so far. So with more people seeing what I post, it's become more and more apparent to me that I need to be more careful with not just what I say, but the delivery of what I say, because that's what's caused problems so far. So this whole experience is a learning curve for me. I'm not a professional videographer. I totally lost even my ability to speak in general. If you go back to my very first video, I can barely talk. Now I'm still in the process of learning still to talk. This whole channel is not because I'm a professional, it's because I'm learning myself, and I can bring you along with me and we can all learn together. And when in the future I have a much larger audience, bringing up these videos and looking at where I was in the beginning will be an eye-opener for a lot of people in the future. That's why I feel like I owe it to myself mainly, but also everybody watching this presently, and not only presently, way into the future, to continue and to keep going regardless of whatever happens. Because my main message to you, and I always apologize for repeating myself, but I'm no longer going to apologize for repeating myself, because repetition is what makes information enter your subconscious, and it's the repetition of information that's helped me achieve some of my goals. So I'm not going to apologize for repeating myself. But my main message for this channel, as you all know, is that persistent, continuous action towards a goal, you will attain it. So these videos will be proof in the future, when there's hundreds of these videos out there every single day. That is me taking persistent, continuous action on a daily basis to grow a following, to improve my ability to talk, etc, etc. So I owe it to me and to anybody watching this to continue regardless of what problems or challenges might come my way in the future. That's how I intend to handle it. With all that being said, something I have learned so far in making these videos is my delivery might need to change. So I can experiment with different things and see what works and what doesn't, what gets positive feedback, what gets negative feedback, what more people watch, what they don't, who interacts. All these statistics I can get, and I can adapt my skills to help as many people as possible, because that's my ultimate goal. So I can change based upon feedback, whether it's likes, comments, attention, views, any feedback. I'm going to use that to change my message. So from now until I realize that I am going to test out, instead of the approach of you must do this, because that comes across as I am better than you, and that is not how I feel at all. I don't want to come across that way. I just realized that that's the way that my message is coming across. I am better than you. No, that's not how I want to sound. So instead of you must do this, I am better than you, even though that's just how it comes across, not what I meant, but you must do this, I am better than you, needs to come. I'm going to adapt it and change it to, this is what I have done, this is what worked for me. I hope that you can also implement it and use it and achieve what I have achieved. I feel like that is a much better way to produce content going forward, because me saying you must do this, I had a comment, and I called him a hater, but to be honest, feedback from haters, if you want to call them that, are sometimes extremely worthwhile critiques. That if you actually, it's easy to shoo off the haters because you think, oh, they just hate me. But if you actually listen to them, in some instances, you can see where your failings are and correct them. There was one guy called me sanctimonious. You know, after watching the video back that I produced, I don't believe in deleting anything, by the way. So even if I don't agree with something that I've said, it'll stay up there regardless. You can go back and see this video right now that I'm talking about with it that's offensive, or some people probably didn't find it offensive. It's my most liked video, so it's just the one that got the most attention. But with attention, there's obviously more positive and more negative people, and the way that they've taken the message. So he called me sanctimonious. So obviously some people are getting this message misconstrued and whatnot, and that's obviously I am a true believer in taking full accountability for my actions. So I understand that the reason I've got the negative feedback that I've gotten is my own doing. It was the way that I presented the message, and I am obviously learning. So it's a learning curve. So from now on, the videos I make will be, I have done this for X amount of time. I have received these results. I felt this way about it, and afterwards, and I was able to achieve my goal that way. And I feel like that is a much better way to get my message across, because it's proof as well. It's not just you must do this. It's I have done this, and this is why you might want to do it too. I feel like that's going to be far more beneficial. So going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I would give an example. Well, I can give you an example. I'm just not going to go to depth in it. I came up with an eating plan, but it's not just so much what I did that I want to get across to people. It's also the mindset that I had to adopt to achieve what I achieved. And that's another thing. Guy called me chubby cheeks. I know you might have seen the video where I was laughing at some guy calling me chubby cheeks. Yes, I am fully aware that I am still on my fitness journey also. It's just I I'm way better off now than I was in the past. So it's not a question of am I going to do it, am I not. It's absolutely certain I'm just not there yet, because I've adopted the right mindset, and that's what I want other people to understand. It's a mindset thing. If you're curious whether you're going to do it or not, you've not got adopted the right mindset yet. So I want to help people in every way that I can. I want to help them by showing them what worked for me mindset wise, showing them what worked for me, what I actually did wise, physical actions that I take. For example, I did carnivore diet. I'm not recommending carnivore diet to you whatsoever. It's not sustainable at all. But I did carnivore diet for 3 months, and I dropped a lot of weight in that time, and that's what gave me the momentum that I needed. There's a small example for you. That's not going to work for everybody. That's what worked for me, and I hope that would work for you too. I'm going to go way further into depth with all that, with the diet and the carnivore diet and a bunch of other different things I tried and what worked for me, and finding the right strategy for the right individual, because everyone has their own way of doing things. I want to go into depth way more in a different video about these topics. But for now, I just wanted to let you know my intentions. So you might see a shift in my intensity, and I don't want any changes to be seen as me trying to change. Like, I'm not acting. I'm never acting. I think how I think, and I produce what I produce. There's a difference between learning something that does or doesn't work and adapting and changing to suit the needs of others and acting. It's not going to be an act. It's still going to be genuinely me. It's still going to be... I always want to come across genuine. This is not a show. This is not an act. I can still put my message across in different ways without changing who I am as an individual. So going forward, I want to give you examples of what I've done and what worked for me, and I hope that it will work for you too. And at the same time as that, I'm learning everything. I'm learning how to speak. I keep pausing, I keep stopping. I want to talk fluently. I don't want to keep stopping and thinking for ages. And I'm learning, and I'm hoping to teach you something at the same time, and we're all learning together. I want this channel to be, I'm trying to find like-minded people also, and build a community of people that are wanting to improve themselves, because no one is on the same... There's many words for it. You can say frequency, you can say mindset, you can say path. There's many different ways of saying the same thing, but there's no one really on my wavelength. So I don't speak to anybody, because I don't want outward influence on anyone that's not trying to achieve the same things I'm trying to achieve. I don't talk to friends anymore that hold me back. I only want to hang around with positive people that have a positive influence and impact on my life, and people that can teach me things and I can learn from them. I don't want to hang around with the person anymore that says he wants to do something and never does it. That really irritates me. And I don't want... This should not come across as offensive to anybody. I'm talking about me here, none of you. But I have a friend, and he calls me quite a lot, and I have to ignore his calls, because every time I speak to him, I feel physically drained. I feel tired, because all he does is he calls me and he'll complain about every aspect of his life. I'll try and help him and give him guidance and advice about it. I'll speak to him next time, and his situation's got worse, and he's just ignored everything that I've said. I don't expect anybody to just blindly follow what I say, but when I see a repeating pattern of someone just calling me for therapy sessions, I tell them what I think about it or what I think they should do, and then they just go and do the total opposite of that and get in an even worse situation. I don't have time for that sort of thing. It's a waste of time. I could better use that time elsewhere than helping people that don't want to be helped. There's two people like that, actually. call me for advice. I give them advice and they don't take it. And then I have other friends that it's nothing to do with they don't take my advice or anything like that, but they just live a lifestyle that I don't particularly want to live. I am not interested personally. If you are, this is fine. I'm not interested personally in going out on a weekend till the early hours of the morning to town and clubbing. I feel like I say the same thing all the time, partying and drinking and smoking, but I don't want that. And lots of people do that. A large portion of the population that's my age and my demographic, you know, a lot of them do those things. So it is difficult to filter out all of the people that I don't want to be like and don't want to be influenced by, and find genuine people who are on a journey to self-improve and want more for themselves and want better for themselves. So I want to make this clear. I don't judge anybody for any lifestyle that they want to live. I don't judge anybody for any habit that they've got. I don't judge anybody for anything, but that doesn't mean at the same time that I need or want those people near me. That's not selfish. That's self-care, if anything. I don't think people realize how influenced they are by other people. They might argue that they're not. But you are a product of your environment. You are the 5 people you spend the most time with. These are 2 facts. It's been proven time and time again. And people actually know this and they've heard it, but they don't think, I want to be this way, but I'm hanging around with people that are doing this thing. And they'll just continue hanging around with people that are doing this that doesn't align up with the other one. And then they're just what I call floating around, which is something I used to do. So again, I'm not making fun of these people. I'm just saying, when I came to the realization that I want more for myself and that I can't be with those individuals anymore, it's a lonely path to begin with. And it's still now. I started this journey back it was January 20th. I just got back from California. There was an event that happened that I can speak about on another video if anyone's actually interested. There was an event that happened that occurred where a close friend of mine we split ways, and I'm talking close friend, like we didn't talk to anybody else. It was literally just me and him, and we did have a similar mindset, but also conflicting. I can explain this a lot better in another video. I don't want to get any information wrong, but since then I've spoken to, other than family, basically nobody. And I'm not complaining about that, but I'm just waiting for I don't mean I've spoken to nobody. Come on, I just mean I don't have anybody I would consider a friend. And again, I'm not saying this as a sob story. I'm not sad about it at all. It is. I understand that it is just a lonely path to surround myself with like-minded individuals, and maybe a networking event or something like that is in order to find these people that want the same things as me. But for now, I haven't found that, and I thought that possibly by making these videos I would be introduced to like-minded people, not to be best friends with. I'm not saying, like, you know, this isn't some strange application for a friendship. That's not what this is. But it's encouraging when I see I've had quite a few comments that are people that are trying to improve themselves, and knowing that other individuals out there like that exist and have found this content, and it could one day be a community of that type of individual. That excites me. It does. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that video. I'm gonna leave that video there. I'm not at all upset or anything like that. I don't know why I even feel the need to explain that I'm not upset. It's just when I explain this to other people, I can see in their eyes they kind of look or feel sorry for me or something. But I don't think they understand. If you understand, you'll know I'm not. You'll know that I'm not upset or anything. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying the way that it is and my intentions. This video is basically just a video of my intentions for the future and for content on this channel and the way that I put my message across. I'm not a fan of sob stories. I'm not a fan of trying to manipulate anyone's feelings or emotions. Nothing, none of that, nothing like that. I'm just trying to explain the best I can I'm not a fan of making excuses either, but I'm about to. On very, very little sleep after a very, very long drive. So with all that being said, that is the end of today's video. I look forward to making the next one. If you have any suggestions of topics that you want me to talk about, I would be open to it. Not because I'm running out of ideas or anything like that. I've got quite a few things that I want to do, but I don't think there's any problem with having outside influence from other individuals. So if there is anything, then please let me know, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video.